little bit of a transfer roundup for you today. So much has happened in the last 8 days. I've been away, as I said in yesterday's video, been on holiday, came back. There's so much. And I don't think all of it is sort of idle tittle-tattle. I do think some of it is genuine interest. And there definitely seems to be a real focus from the club to get the deals done early. That the Diver and Dave days do seem to be over. We'll discuss that in more detail tomorrow. But when you go away for 8 days, there's so much to catch up on. Some of it nonsense, but some of it is real. I think the bid for Bruno at Flamengo, I think that's real. I think this interest in Luis Guilherme, I think that is real. I think the interest in Wesley before, I think that was real. I do think there's real intent. As I mentioned yesterday, I think we're probably going to get one of these wingers, Chuck Jota Silva in there again. I think one of them's going to happen. I don't think all three or even two of them. Actually did the video yesterday on Guilherme, and mate, some people were a little bit angry about that. Look, let me just say this. Let me try and reiterate. I hate doing a disclaimer, but let me do it now because some people seem a little bit triggered by it. One person said, why don't you just let the scouting department do their job? I'm not trying to stop West Ham scouting. I'm really not. We don't have that power over on YouTube. We really don't. I could say anything on a YouTube video and the scouting department would just carry on going. That's not really how it works. But I was undecided. I'd come back and I'd had to start having a look at the players we were linked with. Oh, wow, 30 million. Let's go and have a look at this kid. I thought, oh, that seems like a lot of money. But I've had a couple of really good posts that have come back. One of them is from Tim, who said, this boy's the real deal. His stats are incredible. He's not the usual goals and assist stats, because I mentioned yesterday he'd only scored 1 goal. He said that everyone looks at, but he's playing stats. He said he's lightning quick. His playing stats are really good. He basically made the point that, you know, you've got to try and get these kids early, otherwise you end up paying the big bucks. And I think he sort of made the point, we bid 16 million for Neymar. We didn't get him back in the day, and maybe 30 million is the new 16 million. So thanks for that post, Tim. That was really good. And there was also another one which yesterday, which was someone saying, look, you know, if you look at it, it's probably not 30 million up front. You would probably pay for this with the Benrahma and the Tilo Kehrer money. He probably wouldn't be on big wages, which I think, you know what, that's a really, really good point. So, look, maybe it's not the risk that I thought it would be, but, you know, from the outset, you look at it and you think, if we've only got 100 million to spend, that's quite a large chunk to pay, isn't it, for this player? But anyway, what it does look like, so I'm willing, I haven't made up my mind on this kid, but I am also loath to just watch one YouTube video and think, yes, that's it, this is the next big thing in world football. Truth of the matter is, I don't know, so I'm happy to be educated by people that actually do watch the Brazilian league. I do wonder how much of this, though, is down to Tim Stite, and he's going to have one. There will be one favourite. It might be Wesley. It might be him. I just do wonder if we're making bids out there and maybe there's a favourite. I don't know if this guy's the favourite or if he isn't. Look, I guess time will tell, but it is clear that we're trying to do transfer business early. That much is really, really evident. Some of the other bits of business that we've been linked with, well, actually staying on Guilherme, it appears to be a story, I'm not sure if it's a rehashed one, that Bayern Munich are also interested in him. Of course, Bayern Munich recently appointed Vincent Kompany, which is a bit of a strange one, but I discussed this on a Patreon video a couple of days ago. I think I can understand it. I can definitely understand the fact that they're probably looking for someone to fill in. Bearing in mind, they've approached 5 or 6 managers, and most of them have said no. The reason I understand it is I think there's clearly something wrong at Bayern Munich at the moment. They can't get any of their first choices, second choice, third choice. Couldn't get any of them. So I just wonder if this is a little interim appointment, possibly while they wait for Jurgen Klopp to do to take a year sabbatical. He was at the Champions League final last night. Of course you saw it. They kept on cutting to him. Anyway, we've been linked with loads and loads of strikers, yet there's a website called Sports Witness they've sort of nailed their colours to the mast. They've covered themselves by naming 4 names, but they've pretty much said West Ham are definitely going to sign one of these 4 strikers. Serhou Guirassy, who you'll be aware of, been linked from for some time. Ivan Toney, I was going to say James Toney, that's the boxer. Youssef En-Nesyri and Ademola Lookman. I mean, Lookman's not really a striker, is he? But it's one of these 4 that West Ham are going to sign. And none of those will be surprising, particularly not En-Nesyri and Toney, who've been linked with forever. West Ham do want to sign a striker, apparently. And, I mean, the funny thing with Ademola Lookman is, it's like Tim was saying about us missing out on Neymar earlier in his career. I think we were, Lookman's from Wandsworth, and I think we were offered him by Charlton Athletic years ago. He's only 26, actually, but he seems like he's been around forever. I think he was, when he came through at Charlton, he was like 16, 17, something like that. So, how much truth there is to that, I don't know. But some of these I look at, I think there's genuine interest. Possibly we're interested in none of those. But look, Sports Witness have got a little bit of credit in the bank, I think, because they were the ones that nailed their colours to the mast, and they were the ones that broke the news that Ruben Amorim had flown over. They were the ones that got the picture out there with him in the private jet flying over to West Ham. So clearly they got some context. Maybe there's some truth in it. You never know. Diego Gomez, do you know who that is? No, neither did I until yesterday. Plays for Inter Miami, Paraguayan midfielder. Apparently we've been linked with him quite a lot as well. Inter Miami, I think Lionel Messi plays there as well. We've been interested in, but we've been told to wait. Wait until after the Olympics. Well, yeah, okay, fine. I guess that sort of makes sense, but I'm not sure there's anything in that story at all. And just sort of going back to what I was saying about Guilherme, what's really important is, and I know Guilherme plays in a different position to George Earthy, I think it's really important that we do give some of our youngsters a chance. And you know, I think probably the last thing we need to do is bring in a sort of attacking midfielder or a sort of dynamic midfielder. I think we sort of got that covered, really, and I would like to see certainly Potts, Orford, Earthy, start to get some game time in the upcoming season. I'd like to think Earthy will. I don't know if you saw the. We'll discuss it a little bit more in another video, but if you saw the sort of promo from the club where Earthy was with Mark Noble and then he sort of accidentally on purpose bumped into Julian Lopetegui. I quite liked it, by the way. I got no criticism. I think the media department did a really good job on that piece, actually. It was a really, really good watch. But it was very, very similar to the video that I'd discussed before about his first day at work at Wolves. It was almost a carbon copy of it. But I'm not going to complain because I think we've done that stuff really poorly for quite some time. So, there's nothing wrong with taking a leaf out of Wolves' book in terms of their media engagement, that's for sure. Talking of Wolves, Max Kilman, 40 million. 40 million. Look, he's a good player, and again, all I can do is work in the knowledge of this supposed budget that we have, which is 40 million. And I'm not suggesting for a moment to go around buying 10 players for £10 million each. I really don't, but Wolves are insisting that it's 40 million or nothing. Do you know what? I think it might be nothing, because I'm not sure there's any club out there other than West Ham who are willing to pay £40 million for Max Kilman. The link is obvious. I mean, it's absolutely obvious. It's obviously Julian Lopetegui was manager of Wolves. He works with Kilman there. And listen, given a choice between Kilman or Bruno, yesterday's video, I was only speaking my mind. I'm going to speak my mind again. I'm sure I'll get the same amount of stick for it, because obviously it can't possibly mirror everybody's opinion. But I went and looked at some of the clips from Bruno playing for Flamengo, and he played in the game in the friendly against England, where Lucas Paquetá went mad and didn't quite. Well, he got a booking later on in the game, didn't he? I think he looks slow. I do. I think he looks like a really, really slow defender. He looks combative. I think he's got a good long range pass on him. And maybe, just maybe, the plan is, because we understand West Ham are going to want to buy two central defenders, is to pair Kilman with Bruno, possibly. I don't know. Look, given a choice of two, I'd prefer Kilman. I really, really would, because he's younger. And by the way, I wasn't advocating yesterday with Guilherme that we should go out and we shouldn't buy young players. I think we should. We need to reduce the age profile of the squad. And for that reason, I probably wouldn't, Bruno, if rumours are to be true, and they can't be, I can't believe he's asking for 100 grand a week. I really can't. I also don't believe, really, that we've only offered 15 grand a week. As ever, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But Kilman, 40 million, I think we can get him for less than that. I really, really do. I think we're, I don't know. Wolves have got to adhere and abide by this FFP, or whatever, PSR, as it's called now. Realistically, would they take 30 million? I just think yes. They have to sell. And look, they've got some good assets there, by the way. Wolves have got good assets, and we may well be that West Ham want to go and get Cunha. I just don't know. I really, really don't know. We also don't know what's happened with the Lucas Paquetá situation. We really, really don't. Maybe he gets acquitted and then he gets sold to Manchester City. I don't know. Maybe this drags on for months. Who knows? Maybe he's not even. He's going to play for Brazil in the internationals, apparently. Look, who knows what's going to happen with him, but I would suggest that we probably don't know exactly what our budget's going to be. So Kilman, 40 million, bit rich for me. 25, 30 million, yes. 40 million, no. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, particularly about Luis Guilherme. If you know something about him, that we don't, and you think that this is absolutely the guy, let me know about him. There's another load of stuff with Mohamed Kudus. We'll deal with that again in a separate video, because there's a lot of talk about Liverpool and Manchester United both being after him. But yeah, we'll discuss that probably tomorrow. But what I really want to have a look at is how Tim Steidten has been very, very patient and seems to have manoeuvred himself into a position where he is now the boss.